guys, welcome back to my channel. It's NanaYaa Tresses once again. So today we are talking about 8 myths about hair growth that are probably preventing you from growing your hair to the maximum potential. If this is something you're interested in, be sure to stick around for the video. But if you're new here and you're not subscribed to my channel, what's up? Be sure to subscribe. Let's get this family going and onto the video. Okay, so hair myth number 1 is that you need a magic product to grow your hair. Not true. Not true. Not true at all. This is because this is something I've actually seen a lot on YouTube. Sometimes people will see a picture of my hair on probably Instagram or even here on YouTube, and then they'll send me a DM or they'll text me or something like, what is growing, like what product is growing your hair this long, this thick, this fast? And I'm like, sis, it's not just one product. And they're like, oh, give me the list, let me buy the exact thing. I'm like, doesn't work like that. And then sometimes they think that maybe you don't want to share your knowledge. Meanwhile, it's far from the truth. It's because you know that that one product will not guarantee the same results in every individual. Okay, so yes, there are hair vitamins that you can take that would help boost your hair growth, that might help boost your anagen phase, that's the growing phase. And that's why I talked about MSM in my previous video and why some people work very well with biotin, others don't. So the reason why sometimes when you take certain hair vitamins, you see that instant boost in your hair growth. You realize that like your hair is growing. And you're like, wow, like this product is growing my hair. It's because your body was deficient in that particular vitamin. That is the truth. So the moment you begin to supplement, that deficiency, now everything is fine. Everything else in your body is functioning. So your body cannot produce the excess for the quote-unquote non-essential body parts like your hair, your nose, and your skin. Because usually those parts are not considered essential to your body. It's always going to protect your internal organs first before it takes care of everything else. Okay? So no, one magic product will not help your hair. The only reason why you're going to see changes in your hair growth or your hair journey is if you're deficient in a particular supplement, in a particular vitamin, and then you supplement yourself. Number two, not everybody's hair is the same. Your hair can never be like your favorite YouTuber. Let's just be honest. Do you know how many times that when I was on my hair growth journey, I wanted my hair to get as long as Helicious's hair, just like that, and I wanted Kelly Proverbs's thickness, just like that, and I'm like, yeah, guys, I wanted the best of both worlds. But the truth is, Kelly Proverbs is natural. Helicious is relaxed, and she has beautiful hair. But I was so focused on making my hair look like this and trying to copy the exact regimen and the exact products that it put my hair under a lot of stress. So one thing I can advise is that it is great to have, hair inspirations, but please don't let that be your end game, that you want your hair to look exactly like so and so and so person, so you're going to do everything that they are doing. It's still important to make that time to develop a good relationship with your own hair to see what works for you. Another hair myth that might probably be stunting your hair growth is that heat is bad for your hair. Yeah, I used to be that person. I'm like, I don't want you to put heat on my hair. I'm going to air dry, even if it means I'm going to get more tangle, more shedding, more breakage. I'm still going to air dry. I used to be that person that, like, when I go to the salon and the woman sits in the dryer for a long time, I'll get upset. I'm like, these people just want to damage my hair. But as I'm growing in my hair growth journey, I am realizing that everything is about moderation, knowing how to moderate it for your hair. So yes, now I still use indirect heat on my hair. I now straighten my hair like once a year, like for my birthday, and that's how I want to keep things. But for now, I'm happy with how my hair is. And no, I will not be air drying often. I will still be using a dryer because my hair needs heat to be able to stretch properly, or else it means I'm going to have to use a banding method and keep it in that state for a long time, and that's a lot of work for me. So I'd rather just use the heat, get on and over with it, and then move on with the rest of my life. But like I said, everything is about moderation. So as much as you are against heat, you can find ways to incorporate heat into your regimen without letting it be a thing, like where you always have to use it and then your hair's gonna get damaged. So yes, heat can be used but in moderation. Okay, another myth that most people sometimes get too obsessed with is the fact that you have to stay away from sulfates and silicones. I use sulfate shampoos. My hair's fine. I think the key is to know what the sulfate does to your hair and find a way to balance out the effect of the sulfate. And I think that's what most people don't want to do. They just want to put it out there that, oh, because sulfates dried out my hair, everybody else stay away from sulfates. But sulfates are important if you want to clean your hair properly. Co-washing all the time is not good for your hair because it's going to cause product buildup and it's going to make your hair break. And it's like, what was the reason then? What was the reason? Do you understand? So I still use sulfates in my hair, and because I know I use sulfates in my hair often, I make sure that I find ways to reincorporate back the nutrients and the oils that the sulfates will strip out of my hair on my wash day. So do not stay away from sulfates just because there's this huge thing about YouTube being so much against sulfate shampoos. You can still use sulfates in your hair and your hair will be fine. So that's one another myth I want to debunk. Okay, this is another one that um, the natural hair Nazis would be upset with me about. But you can still have healthy, relaxed hair. Guys, at the end of the day, healthy hair, it's subjective. Okay. For some people, as long as you're putting any form of chemical in your hair, obviously it's causing some form of damage. Because what relaxer does is that it's a strong alkali. So it breaks down the disulfide bonds in your hair. So yes, it is causing a level of damage. But the most important thing is that you're able to retain the length. Okay. For me, length retention is more important than just growing the hair out of my scalp. Because I know that whether or not I take vitamins or hair supplements, my hair is going to always grow at least the half an inch a month. It's still going to grow. So my aim is always about how can I retain that half an inch a month? What are the methods I can use to retain that half an inch to make sure that I'm seeing the length? Or else, oh, look at this way. Or else all the energy I'm putting into growing out the hair is going to be for nothing. So for me, my aim is to find ways to retain the length that I'm growing. So yes, you can still dye your hair, you can still relax your hair and still have long healthy hair. It's just about your methods, your practices. That is what's going to ensure that you're going to have healthy hair in the long run. And please, as a disclaimer, if you relax your hair, permanent dyes are not the way to go. Instead, you can do a demi-permanent dye or a semi-permanent dye. But please don't do a relaxer, then add a permanent dye to it. It's a bad combination, okay? You can either stay natural and then be dyeing your hair, or come to the relaxer and not dye your hair. One has to go, okay? Instead, you can opt for much more natural dyes like using amla oil in your hair, doing coffee rinses. Is going to give that dark brown hair. It's going to appear black like this, but then if you come closer, it's actually dark brown. Yes, so those are some ways you can restore some color back into your hair. Another myth that for my relaxed hair ladies that it probably is holding you back a bit is the fact that you have to stretch your hair the longest you possibly can to see length retention. Let me give you a few practical examples, okay? So if you have been on YouTube for a while, you know about Helicious. I love her so much. I love her hair, and she's actually the one who I watched when I was first starting my hair journey to figure out how to structure everything together. So shout out to you, Helicious. Okay, so Helicious actually stretches for like 10 weeks post relaxer. Her maximum stretch is when I was like 12 weeks, and she has amazing results with her stretch. Some people to stretch for 22 weeks, 24 weeks, and that works for them. So you don't say that because your favorite YouTuber is stretching for like, I don't know, 50 weeks, you're also going to do the same thing and relax your hair once a year. Don't do that. Instead, do what works for you. Do what works for your hair. Personally, I have noticed that whenever I decide to stretch anything past 16 weeks, my hair begins to have a little intervention with me that, sis, we can't do this. Like, what are you doing? It's time. Like, it's time. So from 12 weeks to 16 weeks, I vary depending on how my schedule is or what protective style I have in at the moment. So if let's say I'm at 12 weeks post relaxer and I think I can find a way to stretch out my relaxer a bit more, I might put on a wig that's for 2 weeks, and then relax my hair at 14 weeks. But if, let's say, at my, I don't know, 8 week mark, or at my 10 week mark, I feel like I want to put braids in, I'll put braids in and then stretch it for 6 weeks, take it down, and then be able to relax my hair so I can be able to reach my 16 weeks goal. So I vary my hair depending on my schedule and also how I've been protective styling. So please find a happy medium. When you're first starting, don't try to stretch your hair to, I don't know, 20 weeks when you never stretched your hair relaxes before. Start small, build it up gently, like step by step. If you were first relaxing your hair every 6 weeks, try 8 weeks. Then the next time, try 10 weeks. So you just increase it like by either a week or two, and see how your hair likes it, how your hair behaves. Because if you overstretch, you're going to have more breakage, because the line of demarcation is going to be weaker as the time goes on. And if you don't take care of that, you're just going to end up damaging your hair. There's like, what was the point in stretching anyway? Okay, so that's something you also have to look out for. So these are a few of my tips about some myths that are holding you back on your hair journey, that are preventing you from being able to grow your hair. I hope these are able to help and answer some of the questions that you might have about hair care. As always, it's NanaYaa Tresses. If you have any more questions, be sure to leave them down in the comment section. And I'll see you in my next video. Be sure to subscribe and give me a very big thumbs up. It helps me in the algorithm. So let's be friends, shall we? And see you on Instagram. Bye.